What's up, everybody? This is Gamer CJE. Welcome back to Cities Skylines. Today we're going to be getting a fresh start here in a new city called Stockton. And of course, like every other city, the first thing we have to do is just build a little bit of road so that we can unlock all the other roads that we need to unlock. And I think that what I want to do is... let's see what roads we have here unlocked right away. How many lanes each of these are. So we have a little 4-lane here. And I believe what I want to do... actually, we have 4 lanes. We do have a 6-lane road. Yeah, let's go the 6-lane road. Well, how much did that cost actually? 80 cents a cell. 53 a cell. Let's go with the cheaper one. So I'm just gonna do kind of one section right there. Then we'll go back to our 2-lane roads and connect it up temporarily until we have some better roads unlocked. And you gotta flip that one around. There we go. We have our little connection there. Now let's go back to our 4-lane. And what I'm gonna do is kind of go straight to about right there. And then I'm gonna make a turn. About like that. And now I just want to continue straight for a little while, not too far. There we go. And so what I'm kind of envisioning is having this area be mostly residential with a little bit of commercial and all that, and then having this side right here be most of our industrial buildings. And since this is not really a highway, it's just kind of a main road, I'm just gonna directly connect to it with 2-lane road here. Actually, should I continue with a 4-lane? And kind of just split off this direction, maybe back here, sort of like that. I don't want to go too far because I don't want to use up my money right away, because in this game you do have a very limited amount of money when you first start off. So that's going to be our commercial over here and the residential over here. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is if I really want to have a 4-way right there. But I think for the moment that that's what I'm going to stick with, is just having a 4-way stop right there. Make sure we don't have stoplights. Take away the stoplight, put in stop signs right there. And now let's put in some smaller roads. For now, I'm going to start with dirt roads on the residential side. And maybe eventually I'll turn that into... Okay, I think I did that right, but I'm not 100% sure. Gonna do a little bit of zoning here, and it looks like I did get the count right. So let's do a little bit more grid making here. And now over here on, actually let's make at least one more grid right here. Now for the industrial side. Now I really want to try to leave these trees alone because I really like this map. It's a really cool map. It's got all these trees. I'm assuming trying to like show kind of how most places there's lines of trees that separate fields, and I think it's a pretty cool look. So I don't think that I've unlocked Industry Road, and I won't for quite a while, so I'm just gonna go with the plain old 2-lane road here, and I'm gonna do a grid. Do I want to do that though? So what I'm thinking is I was gonna make a grid this direction, kind of turning this rectangle the other direction, but it would be kind of nice if I was able to have a road that like goes across this road, like up and over, and meets up with this one. So I'm thinking that actually I'll probably do that, which means I need to extend this road out a little ways once I figure out exactly where I should do that. Just like that. Okay. Now I don't envision really needing too much industrial to start off with, and I don't want to use up a ton of money right away. Okay, so this is what we're going to start off with as far as roads. Now we need electricity and we need water. So let's start with the electricity. It kind of stinks, but starting one of these, it's always best to just start off with a coal power plant, because it's going to be the most efficient, it's going to be reliable, and it's just not worth the money right now to be messing around with the windmills. So let's see. I always start off by using the eco inland water treatment plants here instead of just dumping the water into the river, because I think that's super nasty and I would rather stay away from that. So gonna build our water treatment plant and set up our little grid here for the water. And I'm gonna mostly try to stay under the roads with all the pipes, just because it keeps everything neat. And I know that's not really under a road at the moment, but there will be a road built there eventually. So I do need to connect that though. All right, now the only bit left is to build a water tower. And so here's my thought process. It would be really neat to have a water tower kind of here, but I am going to have industrial pretty close to these trees, and I don't want to end up polluting my water source. So I am going to make like a little offshoot right there and put in my water tower right about there. So it looks like I'm gonna have enough money that I can kind of continue my grid for residential a little bit more over there, and maybe I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for the industrial area over here. So now let's just kind of get down to doing a little bit more zoning. And let's go ahead and start the clock. Hopefully we'll have some folks starting to build houses here and there. That would be awesome. We got our first residents moving in right there. And right now the only needs that we need to meet of our people are just water, sewer, and electric. Eventually there's going to be a lot more stuff we're going to have to take care of, but for now, just water and sewer. That's all they need. So I'm going to go ahead and build some commercial buildings here right along the road. Well, I mean, technically I'm not building the buildings, of course. I'm just doing the zoning and kind of showing people where I want them to move in. That's not technically building the buildings, I suppose. The only buildings that we really build in this game are all these buildings. I can't really think of the word right now, but all the stuff that service buildings. That's what I was looking for. So the first thing that moves in is all the residents, and then we have commercial, and then we'll start to have some demand for industrial. And I want to make sure that people have a good way to access the industrial area while at the same time kind of keeping the traffic separate. Because you don't want a bunch of industrial trucks going through the middle of a neighborhood. That wouldn't be any good. And you also can't really put industrial in the middle of town because it'll make people sick with the pollution. And that's no good either. Alright, we are losing money, but not too badly. So hopefully fairly soon we will start recovering money that we've spent and actually be in the green instead of in the red, right? I don't remember if it's in the green or in the white, but one or the other. In the positive instead of the negative. Alright, so now we have a demand for industrial zoning, so gonna try to meet that demand. If you don't meet a demand for zoning, all the other zoning, people stop building houses, people stop moving in shops, because you have to have a balance between industrial, commercial, and residential. And if you don't have that balance, your city just stops growing. And I guess that's probably true in real life as well. Now here at the start, I don't want to really overdo the industrial zoning too much because I don't want too many industrial businesses over here without enough residents, or else the businesses won't have enough workers, and that's no good. Looks like everything is coming along pretty well at the moment. Got a pretty neat little town coming together over here in Stockton. One thing I like about this map is it's fairly flat. And it may look a little bit more dull than some of the crazy maps with big time topography, but it makes it so much easier to actually build in instead of having to deal with all the craziness all over the place. So looks like we could maybe zone a little bit more residential, have some more folks moving into town. And I'm gonna leave this spot right here to put in a little square of commercial buildings. Maybe have a gas station and a Walgreens or whatever. But at the moment, we have empty lots open, already zoned for commercial, and they're not being filled quite as fast. As you can see, we don't have a ton of demand for commercial, so we are good for the moment. Keep all this zoning going. Now I am going to fill up the little main drag here with commercial before I get these built up here. And I want to make sure and leave a gap big enough to continue the road through right here, so that way I can continue this grid pattern if I choose to, which I think I'm going to end up doing because we're already running a little bit low on space. So actually let's continue it out this way. I want to see kind of how much damage this is going to do to the trees. Ooh, not enough money. All right, we got a little ahead of ourselves here. So we've got water coverage about halfway into this deal. So, oh, little Hamlet, congratulations. Okay, so we can now control taxes, we can take out loans. We now have to provide garbage services, healthcare services, and education services. And we unlocked all of these right here. So let's see. We have garbage services, and we have enough money to build a recycling center. So that's what we're gonna do. Gonna build a recycling center. That takes care of our trash for a fair amount of time. As you can see, this is how much garbage we produce at the moment, and this unit takes care of all of it for now, but eventually we are going to run into an issue and we'll have to add in another recycling center. We also now have to provide medical services, and we don't really have enough money to do that yet, but we will soon. So for the moment, let's kind of try to meet the demand for some more of this zoning here without getting too far ahead of ourselves. And let's do some more residential zoning. And these ones are not going to have water, so let's continue our pipe out to this road over here. There we go. We now have water coverage, and we are looking pretty good at the moment. Our traffic isn't too bad, but it would be kind of a bummer if our traffic was bad at all when we only have like 700 people. That'd be kind of embarrassing. And I am going to throw a little spot of commercial right there. I'm gonna try to not really fight the trees too much in this city. I'd like to keep as many of them as I can. All right. So I think I might take out, oh wait, okay, I forgot to adjust my taxes here. I'm gonna go to 12% on everything. I think that's the most you can get away with. Maybe it's 13. Without people starting to move out because the taxes are too high. But as you can see, we're starting to make a little bit more money. So I'll be happy with 12% for the moment. And we do have quite a bit of demand for industrial, so let's try to meet that real quick. All right, we are almost to 1,000 already. Pretty crazy. And we now have $10,000. So let's find a good spot. I think right there's a good spot to build our little clinic. See how our health coverage is. Lots of people kind of being sick, but looks like everybody's getting better now that we have a health clinic. Alrighty. And we also need to put in an elementary school. That's also $10,000. So it's going to be a little bit before we have the money for that. Okay. I think I am going to continue our grid sort of across the road here. Make sure and bring our water. Be a bummer if people couldn't take showers. And gotta put in the commercial. And the residential in this little section. And I'm kind of not really wanting to fill this area up with houses, but I think I'm going to, even though I don't want to, because it is kind of the whole point of the game to increase the number of residents you have in your city. Yeah. All right. And we're gonna do more zoning. And I think I'm going to continue this grid pattern at least one more or two right here. I'll probably do it even farther, but hey, look at that. Congratulations, we are now a worthy village. We have a new 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer area we can unlock. We now can do districts, policies, have a second loan, and we have to provide fire services, police department, and we have industry specializations that we can use, and some policies and such, but I'm not really interested in that. right, and for these ones, we're just gonna fill in the whole area. Just like that. I don't even care how it ends up looking. I usually kind of micromanage my buildings. And actually, let's see. We have enough money now. School. Oh, the school doesn't go that well right there. Okay. I think that's a good place for a school. And we also now have to have a fire department and a police department. And it looks like we actually have the money for all of them right now, which is awesome. Alright, so we now have healthcare services, fire services, police services, and a school. And it looks like we do have a little bit more demand for industrial over here, so let's take care of that. Just like so. And we're still okay on power. We are going to start running short pretty soon. And same with water and sewer. I'm sure the trash is already not doing well. Yeah. So everything seems to be running pretty smooth. We got our little town of Stockton going here. Already got people upgrading. Got all these different kind of houses going. Looks pretty neat next to the river right there. Yep, pretty neat. Alrighty. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Stockton here in Cities Skylines. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider joining me next time. If you'd like to, leave a like and maybe even subscribe.